Have you ever felt it? That profound, almost unsettling quiet within you? A stillness so deep it feels like the very air has stopped moving. What if I told you that in that silence, in that often dreaded quiet, lies not an absence, but a profound, potent presence? A voice so ancient, so wise, it can reshape your entire reality. Here's the shocking truth. What if the greatest act of self-love, the most powerful declaration of your sovereignty, isn't about gaining something, but about releasing everything society tells you you need? What if the path to your truest self, to that incandescent wisdom within, requires a journey through a landscape of intentional deprivation? I'm talking about abstinence, but not in the way you think. Not the abstinence dictated by dogma or fear or external expectation. No, I'm talking about an abstinence chosen, cultivated, and fiercely protected. An abstinence that, in its very essence, becomes the fertile ground for your soul to finally, truly speak. Carl Jung, that titan of the human psyche, understood this. He didn't speak of abstinence in hushed tones, but as a crucible for transformation. He knew that when the external world goes silent, when the usual clamor of desires, of expectations, of physical urges, is hushed, something extraordinary happens. The soul, starved of its usual distractions, begins to whisper, and then it begins to roar. You've been taught, haven't you, that happiness lies in acquisition, in connection, in constant engagement, in the thrill of new experiences, new relationships, new pleasures. You've been told that to be alone is to be lonely, that to choose solitude is to choose sorrow. But what if that's a carefully constructed illusion, designed to keep you from discovering your own limitless wellspring of power? What if the greatest love affair you will ever have is with yourself, and it begins not in the arms of another, but in the quiet embrace of your own being? Imagine for a moment a landscape stripped bare. No lush foliage, no distractions, just the raw, exposed earth. It seems desolate, doesn't it? But it is precisely in that starkness that the deepest roots can grow, can intertwine, can draw sustenance from the very core of the planet. So it is with your soul. When you consciously choose to withdraw from certain external stimuli, from certain patterns of consumption, be it emotional, physical, or even social, you are not creating a void. You are creating a sanctuary, a sacred space where the noise of the world finally fades, and the ancient primal song of your own spirit can emerge. This isn't about punishment. Oh no. This is about liberation. It's about understanding that the persistent hunger you feel, that yearning for external validation, for constant connection, for fleeting pleasure, is often a diversion, a masterful trick played by the ego to keep you from facing the profound, exhilarating vastness of your own internal universe. When the body, with its insistent demands, with its ingrained habits, with its endless pursuit of gratification, goes silent, the soul, in its infinite wisdom, begins to speak. It speaks of truths you've forgotten, of desires you've suppressed, of a destiny you've perhaps been too busy to hear. Think of it. When you choose to abstain from constant social interaction, what happens? You're no longer performing. You're no longer seeking approval. You're no longer mirroring others. You are simply being, and in that being, your authentic self, the one you've perhaps kept hidden for fear of judgment, begins to unfurl like a delicate blossom. When you abstain from the endless scroll, from the relentless consumption of digital noise, what emerges? Clarity, space, the fertile ground for your own ideas to take root and flourish. Seneca, that wise Stoic, knew that true freedom wasn't about having everything, but about needing nothing. He understood that our desires are often chains, binding us to external circumstances, to the fickle whims of others. When you master your desires, when you consciously choose to step back from their relentless pull, you become the architect of your own peace. You become the master of your own joy. This is not weakness, it is the most profound strength. It is the maturity of recognizing that true abundance lies not in what you accumulate, but in what you become. This is a journey. It's not a destination. It's a process of gentle yet resolute unveiling. You might begin with something small, a day of digital silence, a week without impulse spending, a period of intentional solitude, truly alone, not merely lonely. And you will notice it, that subtle shift, that whisper in the quiet. It's your soul, stirring, stretching, finally able to breathe. You see, society often conflates need with choice. It tells you that you need a partner, that you need constant entertainment, that you need external validation to feel complete. But what if you chose deliberately to reframe that? To understand that these are not needs but desires, and that mastery over desire is the very bedrock of true freedom. This isn't about being alone. It's about choosing to be alone. This isn't about deprivation. It's about discerning what truly nourishes your spirit and what merely distracts it. The most magnificent transformations often occur in the quietest spaces. Think of the chrysalis, a seemingly dormant state, a period of withdrawal, of profound internal work. And from that stillness, that abstinence from the external world, emerges something breathtakingly new, something transformed. You are that chrysalis, my dear, and within you an unparalleled beauty, a wisdom that transcends words awaits its awakening. Allow yourself this sacred space. Allow yourself the courage to step away, to choose silence, to embrace stillness. It is in that profound quiet that the true self reveals itself. It is when the insistent demands of the body, of the ego, of the world, finally subside, that the soul, in its boundless glory, finally speaks. And when it does, it will speak of your strength, of your resilience, of your inherent worth, and of the limitless possibilities that lie within you, waiting to be unleashed. So, I invite you, not to deprive yourself, but to empower yourself. Not to withdraw from life, but to dive deeper into the magnificent, uncharted waters of your own being. Let the silence be your guide. Let the stillness be your sanctuary. Because in that profound quiet, the soul speaks, and its wisdom is the most powerful truth you will ever encounter. If this message resonated with you, if you felt a flicker of recognition, a stirring of possibility, then please let me know. Like this video, share it with a sister who needs to hear this truth, and subscribe to this channel. Let's build a community where our souls can speak freely, where we can inspire each other to embrace the power of our own inner wisdom. Because your journey, your truth is not just your own. It is a beacon for us all. And when the body goes silent, the soul truly sings. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And remember, the deepest conversations often begin in the quietest moments.